So, one question to sort of wrap up would be, I talk a decent amount in my community about starting by yourself and doing the full process from beginning to end by yourself, because then you're able to hire better because you understand the challenges, you understand the inputs and the outputs, and you've already maybe built an SOP, which is going to make onboarding and training and everything just so much better.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that? And if you do, like, at what point, because people start to ask this question of like, okay, when do I know I'm ready to hire someone else? Or,
Right.
um, I guess, yeah, what are your thoughts on that whole idea of being able to just start as a one person agency?
Uh, Again, it depends on your goals, right? Um, if your goal is to provide a ton of value at a higher, go up market and whatever else, you can do a one person agency. Um, Maybe if you're doing like consulting or AI readiness and it's just you and you have a playbook and then you bring on the next person to do that. Um, but the reality is, like, in my perspective, like, I wasn't a trained engineer, right? I self taught in 8N and all this stuff. I did our first few projects. And then I went and found people who knew N8N well and were interested in learning AI, brought them in, right? And you know this, I didn't have a ton of SOPs around like how do you build this stuff, right? Because we were all just figuring out it was brand new.
Mm.
Um, but then like, I did sales and I had a sales motion, and I'm still the best at doing the sales in the company, right? But like bring in a sales guy who brings a lot of different elements to the table, and I got to teach him about like what exactly do we do and how should we like talk about it. But he's bringing other elements of like he's like detail oriented in a very unique way, communicates like very effectively, like really good writer, and he's a doctor, so he brings other perspectives to it. And I'm just kind of teaching him about like what do we do and like how do I run sales, and then he brings his other talents to the table that makes us better. And same with engineering and project management. Like I'm probably the worst project manager on the team, like fundamentally. Uh, and I'm not the worst vibe coder on the team, but I'm one of the worst vibe coders on the team at this point. Uh, but if it was like me and it was me and what I know replicated 15 times, we wouldn't be able to provide the service that we are able to provide today, right? Like
Mm.
the market opportunity for us is not as large, and so like it is very much when you're in the whole like I'm going to spin up my own agency starting as a one person and I'm going to build this agency space, and you're consuming all that content. It is very much around like do everything, document it, teach someone how to do it. Do everything, document it, teach someone how to do it, and then get yourself out of the business. Very much still true, but you need to also try to find people that have other talents than you, because that's what it really accelerates things. Like without
Yeah.
that, you're kind of stuck no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
true.